All right, we're joined by head coach, Brad Underwood. Before he gets started, remember?
Who were you going to call me?
I forgot, to be honest with you. I just forgot. A reminder, please raise your hand if you have a question and give out your name as well as your affiliation. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Brad.
Well, it's obviously a wonderful experience to be a part of March Madness. I'm excited to be back here with all of you in person. I'm excited that we've got fans. I'm excited that that as we know the NCAA tournament, one of the great sporting events of all time, it's somewhat back to normal. So that's exciting. It'll be unbelievable tournament in terms of I think anybody can win this thing. But we've got a great opponent in Chattanooga. You have to show up. You have to be prepared. You have to play with great energy. You have to play loose. It's one of the things we've talked about at length with our team is having fun, enjoying the moment, and just going out and playing as hard as we can play. So we're excited, and Pittsburgh's a great venue, and we're excited to be here.
Hey, Coach, Tom Withers, Associated Press. I didn't get a chance to ask Kofi, how much do you think last year's tournament drove him towards a decision to come back? And then secondly, what does it mean to have him back?
Well, I think it was a part of him coming back. Kofi's very, very smart, and he was a second-team All-American last year. His legacy means a lot to him. His jersey's going to hang in our rafters. Which is special. He's a wonderful student, so he's tracking towards graduation, getting closer. So I think all of that stuff played with him. He's loved in not just the state of Illinois or Champaign-Urbana, but the state of Illinois as well. So I think it was a part of it. And that was a bad feeling we had last year in that locker room. To have him back, I mean, you're talking about a first-team All-American. You're talking about arguably the most dominant player in college basketball physically, and to have that option is a pretty doggone good option to have.
Matt Zahn from CBS Chicago. You touched on it in your opening statement, guys having fun. From the players, it was a big emphasis from what they were talking about. Why, to you, was it so important that these guys just sort of embrace having fun out here?
I've talked about this a little bit. Last year when we won the Big Ten tournament, we didn't. We never got to celebrate. We never got to get excited about the NCAA tournament. We played with a great chip on our shoulder going into the Big Ten tournament. We won that, and then we were whisked off into quarantine for 24 hours. We never got to put a finality, a final touch on that. And you didn't hear your name announced on Selection Sunday. We were standing on a stage getting a trophy, and to me that's the end of the regular season. It's the start of the new, and it's something to get excited about, and this year we're going to make sure we do that right.
Coach Angela Moriam from News 12 in Chattanooga, what impresses you the most about the Mocs defense?
Well, they got a lot of size. There's no doubt about that. For a mid-major program to have legitimate and a high major size. I mean, they're bigger than we are, and to be able to throw three bodies out there, at the center position, they're very, very sound. They're well coached. They know exactly what they're doing. They can mix up their ball screen coverages, 3 or 4 different ways. So they throw, they're very solid, very sound. You can tell they're a veteran team, and they don't beat themselves, and you've got to make shots to beat them.
Doug Bouchon from Orange and Blue News. Coach, how's the health of the team heading into the tournament? Are you expecting to have every player available tomorrow?
I am. Yes, it's the best it's been in, since June.
Scott Ritchie, Champaign News Gazette. I mean, this emphasis on maybe keeping things light, having fun. Have you seen anything different from the players where maybe they've embraced that in the last, 4 days?
I think our practices have had a ton of energy. Now that doesn't mean we win games because of that. But I mean we've been very focused. We've had a great focus. We've had a great presence about us. But again, just trying to tell guys to enjoy the little things and enjoy the experience of it all and take it all in and let your hair down and let's go play.
Brad, Joey Wagner, Illini Inquirer. How do you combat maybe like the human nature of feeling tense or any of that? Is it a concerted effort to really, or do they kind of handle it themselves?
This team's pretty loose now. This team's got a little swag about them. They got some confidence, and I don't worry about that. I think that we've got to play with the right tempo that helps us, the right pace. Sometimes we get going too fast. Sometimes we get going too slow. When we play with the right, in the right pace, then we're in a pretty good place.
Coach Sam Pena with Channel 9 in Chattanooga. You mentioned earlier that UTC has a lot of bodies that they can throw at you. It obviously seems to be something that they might be throwing at Kofi specifically in this game. What sort of plan do you have in place to be able to deal with that, to be able to handle the amount of size that they're throwing at you?
You really think I'm going to answer that? Kofi's seen just about every type of coverage. He's one of the most fouled players in America. It doesn't matter. From early on in the season when we played Arizona, they doubled, he passes it out. Whether it's triple coverage, it doesn't matter. We've seen just about everything there is to see. That's the growth of Kofi. Being a junior, he's just about seen every type of coverage there is.
Hey, Brad, Mike Berman from NBC Chicago. You guys were so good last year, such a disappointing finish to the season. I wonder for you personally, how much have you looked forward to getting back here, just getting another crack at it? And, you guys have had another great season, and now here you are. How would you just kind of describe the way you're feeling as another opportunity in the big dance presents itself?
Well, I look forward to getting to the NCAA tournament every year. That's our goal, and that's one of our goals. And you can go down every major program in college basketball, and they've had been upset, and in the tournament, and all you can do is keep coming back, and that's the way I look at that. And last year we lost, and we had a great season. This year we backed it up. We won another championship, and all we can do tomorrow, is show up and play the best we can. So we're excited every year to get back. It's 6 games, and you got to be your best every single night, or you get beat and go home.
Coach, Jim Matheson, 25 News in Peoria. You mentioned you've hardly been healthy since June, but how much does it help to have Grandison and BBB back and have that depth that you haven't had down the stretch?
Yeah, a lot. Jake's a valuable piece to our basketball team, and Jake's a guy that passes it, shoots it. He's got great emotional stability for our team. He's very cerebral. He knows everything that we're doing. Again, my confidence in Jake is so high because of what he brings to the mental capacity as well as the physical.
Jeremy Werner, Illini Inquirer. Brad, just to clarify, is Jake cleared to go? And if so, what's his progression been like the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, he's available. And I think the one thing that he's just had to work through, it hurts. It was a process. It was an injury that hurt. And you've got to go through the rehab and make sure it's strong. And then you've got to figure out how to play with a little ouchie. It's one of those deals that can sting you. So, but he's been great the last few days in practice, and I guess this is day 3. So yeah, it's been positive.
Hey, Brad, Chris Bowden from WGN-TV in Chicago. Every team gets so much energy out of scoring points. That's when you start having fun, and you guys are so reliant on the outside shooting 3-point. On those afternoons when it's not falling, or say Kofi's getting into foul trouble, how do you control these guys to stay on course and overcome those setbacks or those things that aren't going right during the course of a game?
Yeah, and that's one of the areas where you've got to make free throws. You've got to get an offensive rebound or two. Those are the things that help you win in postseason. And, our whole system is built and our whole program is built on trying to win games when the ball doesn't go in. And that's through our defense and limiting teams to one shot. And You know, I've been in this tournament before and had a chance to win shooting 31%, and that's you don't ever want that to happen, but you've got to give yourselves a chance, and making free throws, just chopping wood, getting an offensive rebound here or there. All those things are huge because every possession counts. As usually the NCAA tournament possessions drop.
Scott Ritchie, News Gazette. Brad, I know Hugs and Frank are doing CBS studio work this week. Having done that yourself a few years ago, did you have any advice for those guys?
Wow. I can only imagine the garbage that's going to be talked when they're doing our game. It'll be a great tune-in, to be very honest. You know, Hugs is down low, one of the funniest human beings on the planet, and you know, Frank will chime in and play right along. So no, it'd be great insight. You got a Hall of Famer, you know, and Frank is those two guys work together, and I know what it was like in the office with those guys every single day. So it'll be a great day or two for them. I'm not sure it'll be great for me, the stuff they're going to say, but they'll have a lot of fun at my expense, I'm sure.
Joseph Dykes with the Chattanooga.com. So Trent Frazier said that going against all the great guards in the Big Ten has prepared them for Malachi Smith and DJB. And I was wondering, is there a guard in the Big Ten that Malachi Smith kind of reminds you of?
Yeah, I mean, he's a big guard. You know, he's got great body. I think that you know, the Branham kid at Ohio State. I think that you start talking about, you know, he's not quite as athletic as Ivy. You start looking at the young man at Pickett at Penn State. You know, you go right on down the list. You know, there's a, you know, Brad Davison, you know, at Wisconsin. You go right on down the list. We have a lot of 6'4", you know, 200-pound guards in our league. So it won't be the first time that we've seen those type of guys.
Nico Hefflinger, Fox, Illinois. You've said that last year, following the Big Ten championship, you kind of struggled to get the team going in practice ahead of the NCAA tourney a year ago. With the rest that you guys got, you said that would be so important. Have you noticed a difference in the last practice before heading out here, and kind of just a different feeling heading into this year?
Yeah, we've been really good the last 2 days. Now, again, I don't know how that translates, but, you know, I cut today short because we were so on point. We hit everything we needed to hit and got through it, and so I've been really pleased. We did not have that last year. Last year it was, you know, it was not easy.
Brad, Joey Wagner, Illini Inquirer. With Andre being back to Andre, how much does he have a pulse on that pace that you talked about in the game?
A lot. You know, Dre's a great defensive rebounder. So when he defensive rebounds, I think he had 10 the other night. You know, he pushes pace, he pushes tempo, he forces other guys to run. You know, we got a point to post. Kofi running down the floor. We saw Kofi's speed. You know, there's no doubt you know, Plummer got a 3. Those are all things that are good for us. So, you know, everybody benefits when Bellows pushing tempo.
Last question for Coach.
Coach, before all this madness happened, did you see Chattanooga's buzzer beater in the SoCon tournament? What was your reaction?
I can only imagine the excitement of that. I've been close to that. We won a first-round game at Stephen F. Austin or got sent to overtime on a 3 and a foul. But that's you know, to me, that's what makes this event so good. And I had seen it. It was, you couldn't miss it if you watched any TV. But that's what makes March Madness special. It's what makes it elite. It's moments like that. Everybody on that team, everybody in Chattanooga, everybody in the state of Tennessee, and for, you know, any basketball fan, to be honest, is going to remember shots like that. And what an exciting day for them.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.